Hi there, all you Adapt Livers. Welcome to my little part of Adapt Live. I'm Hanna Boethuis and I am working as a diabetes expert, helping people to be healthier and happier in their own care with diabetes, as well as I am the co-founder of the Low Carb Universe. Tell you a little bit more about that in just a second. But first I wanted to welcome you to this Friday edition of Adapt Live, and thank you for joining me here from beautiful Mallorca, Spain. It's really nice and warm today, so I'm super happy that I'm not at home in colder parts of Europe right now. So I'm super grateful, and as it is Thanksgiving, I am also thankful that I get to be here. So last week, I'm going to get to my topic in a second, which is how to lower your A1C level. But last week, I wanted to tell you about some magic that happened here in Mallorca then, which was the first ever the Low Carb Universe that went on. It's more kind of a low carb retreat event in Europe, where we bring all the big experts, such as, for example, Dr. Westman, as I'm sure you know him, and many others that we brought to this beautiful island. And we had a fantastic time, and I cannot tell you how grateful and thankful we are that we got to gather all these people together in a beautiful location, talking about low carb and lifestyle and how to improve your low carb lifestyle. And it wasn't just, we don't focus just on food, although it's very important, but we also put a big emphasis on things like joy, movement, enjoying life, laughing a bit at yourself, because that is necessary at times, and a lot of other things. So we had both lectures and workshops, so you can really discuss the points that were really important to you as well. And so we were a good number of people for our... Hey Carl, what's up? Thanks for watching. So we were a good amount of people gathered at the beautiful Hotel Esplendido in Puerto de Sóller in Mallorca for 5 days, and we enjoyed some beautiful low carb food, and we had a great exchange of ideas and exciting things. And we might have shocked people a little bit on the last night, because we had a flamenco performance during dinner, which was unforgettable for most of us, I think. So yeah, it was a beautiful week. We've had so much great feedback on our crazy idea that started on another conference, and we couldn't be happier with the outcome. So thank you all for being there, and those of you who missed it, you really missed something amazing. But luckily, and I'll tell you this too, today we launched our new event, which is called Keto Ladies, which is going to be in the same place here in Mallorca. And it will be from the 8th of March, which is International Women's Day, funnily enough, and will go till the 11th. So it's a long weekend of talking about women, more the women's side of keto, so women's emotions, hormones, feelings, mental and physical health, mind-body connection, a lot of vanity, because that's important to some women, and perhaps even we'll talk about some bling. So we're excited for that, and you can look at all the info regarding that on our webpage, ketoladies.thelowcarbuniverse.com. Anyway, to today's topic, I agreed to share some thoughts on how to lower your A1C level. So for those of you who don't know, HbA1c is basically, in easier terms, is the average blood sugar that you've had for the past 8 to 12 weeks about. This can vary depending on, of course, your daily blood sugar levels, and especially for diabetic, or if you're in the pre-diabetic ranges, it's very important to keep a track of this. So they say a normal A1C is up to 5.7%, and after that you're considered diabetic. But I would even go as far as saying this should be lowered a bit, because if it's trending up towards the higher normal ranges, you already clearly have some blood sugar issues. So I wanted to go through my list of my tips how to lower your A1C safely and basically with the help of other things than just medication. So number one is, of course, eat low carb. How low you go in terms of carbs is entirely up to you, and you have to find a level where you are comfortable and where you feel great and where you can still enjoy life, but at normal blood sugar levels. This can be tricky, and this is where I maybe suggest that you get some help from like a coach or someone. And number two is medications. Make sure that you have that your medications are dosed properly and that they are not the ones that destroy your blood sugar levels for you. So check that with your physicians if there's something you should change, or if there's another medication you could try if it's not working or something like that, because it is also very individual and can go either way something that might work for one person might not work for another. So check with your physician if you can maybe make some changes there. Then, of course, as A1C levels are based on your average blood sugar level, keep an eagle eye on your blood sugars. Make sure that you know where your blood sugar is when you wake up, before lunch, after lunch, before a meal, after a meal, when you go to bed. It's really important that you put in checks often, because it's if you don't know this, you don't know where to make the changes. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, and this is something I have some problems with myself. It is stress. Stress is a blood sugar killer number 1, and please make sure that you have adequate stress relief techniques in your life to mitigate as much stress as possible. Stress, of course, makes the body release extra sugar because you're supposed to run away from the stressor or whatever it is that is chasing you. And this raises your blood sugar levels, and today we don't have to run away from our stressors anymore, but it's more like, oh, the train is late, or the bus isn't coming, or my phone is beeping the whole time, or I get 500 gazillion emails on Black Friday with different options and different things I should be buying, and all of those can become stressors. So there is if there is something that you can do to help your stress levels, please do so. For me personally, I've found that meditation helps a lot to deal with daily stressors, as well as some really yummy, gooey, ooey, stretchy yoga types, for example, and that really helps me sleep better, be less stressed, and tackle my day in a better and more energetic way. Right, and then of course, because stress can also be combat with movement, that has to be my next point. Movement, you have to find something to do with your body that you enjoy. Make sure that you move some way every day, even if it is a quick brisk walk around the block, some yoga, for example, have a dance party in your living room. Find something that you enjoy rather than it becomes a chore and something that you feel like you need to do, because then it becomes boring and tired. So movement is very important. The next one is planning. Plan your day as much as you can, and what you want to do and what you want to achieve in your day. That way you combat the stress factor, which is the huge one, and you can even get some movement into your day. Then something that I've never heard a physician or someone in my healthcare team throughout my very extensive career with healthcare teams. It's been 33 years this year that I've been in treatment. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes at the age of 2. So since then I've been going to healthcare teams very regularly in different countries, but the one thing they have never talked about is how much my mindset could help me with my blood sugar regulation. So with mindset, I also mean, of course, setting goals, achieving goals. I've defined myself, I think it is on my Instagram profile or something, as a goal digger. Not gold digger, goal digger, to make that ultra clear. And I find that that really helps me in achieving what I want to do and what I want to achieve with my blood sugars and hence A1C. So making sure that I know what my price is and have my eye on the price at most times of the day at least. Then another thing that I've never heard any healthcare professional talk about is mindfulness. How much that can help, and that goes of course then again back to the stress factor, and mindfulness can really help you combat stress, feel calmer. Here also this weekend's topic of gratitude comes in, so that's nice. And with mindfulness, I also mean accepting diabetes and blood sugar issues for what they are. Both the good parts, which are great, and when everything is rosy and going well, everything is amazing, but also the bad parts, when you have those inevitable days that aren't maybe so great and so happy and rosy and unicorns and magic all day. Just accepting those as well, and that it is okay to not be okay every now and again. It has to be. And then my next point is support. Support is incredibly important in working with blood sugar issues or a chronic disease like type 1 or even to a certain extent type 2 is. And this is about finding those cheerleaders that really help you get on with things and help you work towards your goal. This can of course be anything from, it's not limited to your healthcare dream team at all. It can also be, although you need to have, a doctor and maybe an endocrinologist and maybe a nurse and a CDE and all these people, but also think of people like motivational coaches or your personal trainer or someone coaching a team that you like or something like that. All these people are included in your support network, not to forget, of course, family and friends who can really, really help you get on when things get tough. And then the next one is water. Are you keeping hydrated enough? A lot of high blood sugar values are actually due to you being dehydrated. I noticed this myself. If I have a stubborn high blood sugar for a while, a good couple hours, I take more insulin, as you do as a type 1. Doesn't matter if you're on a ketogenic way of eating as a type 1, you still need some insulin. But if I have a really stubborn high, I then after a while try drinking a lot of water, and then I see the effect of the insulin coming. So that can be also a very important thing that maybe isn't talked about or realized a lot of the times. My final point for today, and then I'll let you go and enjoy your Friday or your weekend, is motivation and organization. And what I find really important is how you organize your day can be a very motivating thing. So for me, I have a very set schedule. On the days that I can. When I'm traveling, it's more difficult. When I have things, as in last week at LCU, it's more difficult. But I get up and I have my morning routine and I take my supplements and I have my coffee and I do my yoga and I do my meditation and all of this stuff. And then I know I have the start of a brilliant day. And this is of course something, again, very individual, and you have to find a organizational method that works for you and what you want to do. So yeah, those are my 11 motivational tips for you to maybe be able to change that little tiny bit in your life that can help you to more stable blood sugars and more stable A1C levels. So don't forget to check my website maybe, HannaBoethius.com, and don't forget the lowcarbuniverse.com if you would like to join us for a future event, such as, for example, Keto Ladies in March. I'll see you soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching and have a fantastic weekend. Bye!